Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the Cryptoverse. Today we're going to talk about Bitcoin. We're going to be looking at the upcoming Golden Cross. So if you guys like the content, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Let's go ahead and try to shoot for 20,000 members and show Bitcoin how it's done. Also, check out the Telegram channel in the description below. And if you want to join the premium list with a weekly newsletter, then check out my website, intothecryptoverse.com. Let's go ahead and jump in. So we have this weekly, or we have the Golden Cross about to print. For those who are unfamiliar with the Golden Cross, it is simply when the 50-day moving average goes above the 200-day moving average. And a death cross is the opposite. So a death cross would be something like this, where you see the 50-day going below the 200-day, and a Golden Cross is where you see it going above. Now, in and of itself, a Golden Cross and a death cross don't really mean a whole lot if there's really no context. A death cross here after the end of an extended bull run is generally a sign of really bad things to come. And if you go back and look at historically speaking, you can see here we had another death cross back in 2014 or so, and during that time, I mean, we saw that the price ended up going down. It did come back up a little, but ultimately this first death cross after this paradigm shift in the price of Bitcoin ultimately led to an 80%, 85% retracement. Then during the accumulation phase, we had we had multiple Golden Crosses. We had two, and we had death crosses as well. And these show up just because of the natural volatility of Bitcoin during an accumulation phase. It doesn't mean that just because you see a Golden Cross, Bitcoin's about to take off, but it's necessary for that to happen. So it's necessary again, but not sufficient. So we need Bitcoin to be above the 20-week moving average. We also need a Golden Cross to print. You can see that the Golden Cross printed in the last market cycle, November of 2015 or thereabouts. Okay, so November of 2015. If you look at the 20-week moving average, so back in the last cycle, we got above it in October of 2015. So the Golden Cross printed just a couple weeks later, and this Golden Cross here is ultimately what did start the bull market. I mean, it was a combination of the Golden Cross. We were holding the 20-week moving average as support. We need to see all these things align for us to really start taking off to our next goal of somewhere maybe around $100,000 per Bitcoin. So we need to see the Golden Cross print. We also need to stay above the 20-week moving average. So I just wanted to draw your attention to, during the first market cycle, you can see again we had a peak. We had that death cross here. Prices went down, but it was after the first Golden Cross we kept moving up. So first market cycle, we had one death cross, one Golden Cross, and then we moved up. In the second market cycle, you can see that we had our Golden Cross back over here, our Golden Cross, and then over here we had our death cross in 2014. So this basically said, all right, the party's over. It's time to get out of the market. And then we ultimately retraced back down here into our accumulation phase. And in this accumulation phase, this time, we had two Golden Crosses before we really took off. Okay, we had two of them. So you can see we had this one. We ultimately retraced back down, had another death cross, and then the second Golden Cross is what led us off to the next bull run. So the first one had one, the second one had two. You guessed it, the third one so far has had three. If you look here, we have a Golden Cross. So we have our death cross here, our Golden Cross, so our first Golden Cross, our second Golden Cross, and now we're about to have our third Golden Cross. Now, obviously, this doesn't have to be, this doesn't have to play out in any linear fashion. Maybe we have a fourth Golden Cross before anything substantial happens. But I just want to draw your attention to the fact that we need a Golden Cross to occur. And the last market cycle, we saw ourselves, we got above the 20-week moving average. We saw a Golden Cross occur a few weeks later. It was also met with a lot of people saying, it's going to retrace back down to $200 back then. Now people are saying it's going to retrace back down to $3,000 or $5,000. We don't discount that possibility. We, in fact, prepare for it. In fact, if you follow the channel, we talk about dynamically entering the market. based on whatever the price does, because none of us have a crystal ball and can tell you exactly what's going to happen. It's not about what Bitcoin does, it's about how you react to it. So just know that, seeing a golden cross, this could be the last golden cross we see before a new paradigm shift in the price of Bitcoin. I mean, obviously this is not financial advice, and again, I don't know what will happen in the short term, but again, we know that this is something that's necessary, but not necessarily sufficient. And if you go back and look recently, we saw, okay, we got above the 20-week back in October. Here we just got above the 20-week back in April, and then of course here we are in the next month, just like in the last market cycle. We're about to print our third golden cross instead of our second. So watch out for this. And for those who think that this has to mean, this means like we have, the price has to go up, it doesn't mean that at all. In fact, if you look, we've had golden crosses before, and in the short term, price dropped. We've had death crosses where in the short term price went up, but for the most part, the trend still stays intact. But again, it doesn't always. There's always exceptions to it, which is why you can't say it has to, the price has to do something. It's just one of those things that's necessary, but not necessarily sufficient. And these are all different things you have to like kind of check off to say, okay, Bitcoin is gaining more momentum, it's getting more bullish. We're printing a golden cross. We're above the 20-week moving average. Local neighborhood bears are saying 5,000 a Bitcoin tomorrow. These are all things you need before we can even consider making a move to our next level. So I just wanted to quickly say, if you guys like the content, I pull up TradingView some. We also do a lot of custom stuff on the channel. If you guys like the content, please check out the premium content. We do have a weekly newsletter. I'll just briefly show you an older one. This one was from a few weeks ago, so it's called The Quantitative Investor. So essentially I just put in risk analysis, various metrics for various coins, and we go through like logarithmic regression, and each week we have a special topic of the week. So I think this is a good way for people to stay focused on the data side of the markets, rather than just always talking about what the price is doing in the short term. If you want to sign up for the weekly newsletter, we also have premium videos. So every Sunday, my time, I publish a video, and it's for people who support the channel only. We go through different topics each week. This week, so previously we've looked at historically the best day to buy Bitcoin. If you're say dollar cost averaging weekly, we've looked at the best day to buy Ethereum. We've looked at obviously risk analysis. This week we're looking at the amount of time spent within each risk band. So if this is something that interests you, then check out my website. It's just into thecryptoverse.com. And if you want a discount, you can pay with cryptocurrency for 6 or 12 months and get 5 or 10% off approximately. So check that out. The community's growing. We have the newsletters, we have the premium videos, and then we also have access to a Google Sheets document, which kind of provides like a dashboard. It'll give you the risk values with Bitcoin and Ethereum and the S&P 500 and Cardano. We're adding to it. I'm adding to it constantly. I'm implementing feature requests from various people. So if you want to be a part of this and to really have a plan for the next bull market, rather than just kind of going by and winging it, then I would encourage you to sign up. If if it's not your jam after a month, you can always cancel your subscription. But for the most part, I think most people have actually enjoyed it, and they tend to like what goes on and the content that comes out. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Watch out for the golden cross. If you are on the premium list, I will be posting a video here right after this one and sending out an email to everyone to basically show you the new video, show you the new content. So I'll see you guys in a minute. For everyone else, I'll see you next time. Bye.